श्रुति स्मृति पुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवत् व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणी। यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुः सुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः देवाय तस्मै नमः। Venkatramanji, you can unmute yourself. श्रीभगवानुवाच
श्रीभगवानुवाच
अनाश्रितः कर्मफलम्
अनाश्रितकर्मफलम्
कार्यं कर्म करोति यः
कार्यं कर्म करोति यः
स सन्न्यासी च योगी च
स सन्न्यासी च योगी च
न निरग्निर्न चाक्रियः
न निरग्निर्न चाक्रियः
यं सन्न्यासमिति प्राहुः
यं सन्न्यासमिति प्राहुः
योगं तं विद्धि पाण्डव
योगं तं विद्धि पाण्डव
न ह्यसन्न्यस्तसङ्कल्पः
न ह्यसन्न्यस्तसङ्कल्पः
योगी भवति कश्चन
योगी भवति कश्चन
आरुरुक्षोर्मुनेर्योगम्
आरुरुक्षोर्मुनेर्योगम्
कर्म कारणमुच्यते
कर्म कारणमुच्यते
योगारूढस्य तस्यैव
योगारूढतस्यैव
शमः कारणमुच्यते.
शमत्कारणमुच्यते.
Once again, आरुरुक्षोर्मुनेर्योगम्
आरुरुक्षोर्मुनेर्योगम्
कर्म कारणमुच्यते.
कर्मकारणमुच्यते.
योगारूढस्य तस्यैव
योगारूढतस्यैव
योगारूढस्य तस्यैव
योगारूढस्य तस्यैव
शमः कारणमुच्यते.
क्षमकारणमुच्यते.
This is the shloka we have to do today. So Krishna ends the 5th chapter by introducing Dhyanam. And last 3 shlokas of 5th chapter, Dhyanam was introduced. Then he begins the 6th chapter by connecting Dhyanam to Karma Yoga by stating the importance of Karma Yoga. Okay, so that is how it's working here. So first 2 shlokas we saw Anashrita Karma Phalam Ityadi. So sannyasi to yogi. So he says, don't underestimate Karma Yoga. Karma Yogi is almost a sannyasi. That is what he is saying. Don't, that is the power of Karma Yoga. This Ishvararpana Buddhi, Prasada Buddhi is there. And such a person is sa sannyasi cha yogi cha. Verse number 1. And why he says that in the second line? Because without taking charge of one's ragadveshas, without understanding the karma phalam comes from karma phala data, nobody controls the results of their actions. Everybody controls their actions. Even there some problem can be there, but at least we can say, I am a doer and I do whatever I want to do. Whether it is right or wrong, it's okay, different. On top of that, right, wrong, dharma is there. And when I follow dharma and dharma, then I become a karta, but I am not a karma phala data. Results of the actions is anybody's guess. That is, Ishvara's laws are there, karma is there, and my own karma is there. Years of karma, ages of karma, all that is going to impact what's going to come. And so that much of awareness is there. Therefore, he is called as Sanyasta Sankalpaha in the second shloka. Correct? Sarva Asanyasta Sankalpa. He says Sanyasta Sankalpa. He says one who has not given up those desires for limited ends, and that person cannot be a yogi. And a sannyasi also has given up the idea that I am going to get better if I get this or get that. That idea is not there for a sannyasi, and a karma yogi also has that same idea, and therefore, sa sannyasi cha yogi. We saw that. And now, from this third shloka onwards, he is going to begin to talk about dhyana. So let's see how that goes. So arurukshor muner yogam karma karana muchyate yoga rudasya tasya eva shamaha karanam uchyate. So first shloka, first line, first word, we have to split it here. Arurukshoho munehe yogam. There are 3 words there. Okay, we want to split it like that. Karma karanam uchyate. Then in the second line, last word, karanam uchyate again. Karanam uchyate. 2 times karanam uchyate. Uchyate is said to be. Karanam. Shankara says karanam means sadhanam. He uses the word sadhanam. It is a means. So what is the means for what? For the one, so this word yoga, the first word, Arurukshoho Munehe Yogam. That yogam, this word yoga comes all the time. We have to figure out what is the meaning of this word yoga. And here Shankara helps us. He says that yoga there is dhyana yoga. New this chapter, the title of this chapter is dhyana. And so that yogam. And what about that yogam? Arurukshoho. Yogam arurukshoho. Arurukshaha. This dhatu ruh is to mount, to climb, to decide to attain. So the one who has decided to climb this yoga means attain this dhyanam, dhyana yoga. That person, arurukshoho yogam. Okay. And for that person, the means for that he says, karana muchyate. What is karanam? Karma is the karana. The karma within brackets you should say karma yoga. Karma yoga. Okay. And of course, karma yoga is not possible without karma, no doubt. So here, karma yoga. That's what he's saying. Okay. So, why he should say that? Dhyanam. To do dhyanam, he says karma yoga is a prerequisite. It's a sadhanam. That's what he says. 1991 or 2 or something, around that time frame. My friend, when we were doing PhD, and he was senior to me, he was doing a postdoctoral research work. And he said, we used to have good conversations. And he said, we should invite Swami Dayananda ji to Purdue University. I didn't know what to say to that. I said, okay, sure, that would be a great idea. Why not? And so, Swamiji ended up in the campus. He spent 2 days there. And so one evening, he gives a talk in the public lecture hall. There were probably some 200, 300 people there. Then next morning, meditation, dhyanam at Professor Kashyap's home. And so I went there. This was the first time I'm sitting down to do dhyana. Okay. Half an hour. By the end of 15 minutes, I was wondering when will this session get over. And after that, after the dhyana session is over, I got up. That's how it was. That is how it was. It means what? Sitting down for a length of time, closing the eyes, and then even following instructions. At least it doesn't say you just sit and meditate. No, I'll tell you. Just keep following my instructions. It's not difficult at all. But then it was very difficult. I was wondering when is the session over? That means I'm not, the minute I think, when is the session going to get over? That means what? I'm not really hearing what's happening. Correct? That's what it happened. So if you ask me to repeat that, the first few minutes I might be able to repeat, but after that, all gone. Because the legs are hurting, back is hurting, and you're not supposed to move, and it's a big problem. Huge problem. So sitting down, free will is involved. But meditation, what free will is involved? Where is my free will that says I want to meditate? What happened? Nothing. Free will doesn't work at all. And so, therefore, he says, be a karma yogi first and take care of yourself and do your duties properly and recognize, whatever Krishna has said in the second, third, fourth, etc. chapters. And then the contemplative disposition will come and the dhyanam will become natural. And if you look at Ashtanga Yoga, Patanjali's Ashtanga Yoga also, what does it say? Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, correct? Then Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyanam, Samadhi. Dhyanam comes towards the end only, not in the beginning. And so Yama, Niyama and all. And Yama, Niyama, when we say Yama, we are not talking about Bhagavan Yama, Yamadharma Raja. We should not get confused. Okay. So Yamaha means avoidance of certain things. Himsa, avoid himsa, ahimsa, etc. brahmacharyam, those kinds of things are there. Avoid indulgence, things like that. Okay. So after all that, then you have dhyanam and then only samadhi. And so dhyanam is not the first thing. And so here also, Krishna is making another important point. He says, be a karma yogi. Very important attitude, prayerful life and awareful life, objective life, using our buddhi, because buddhi is what is unique to us compared to animals. All that is there. And then Krishna also seems to say, karma yoga is not an end in itself. You must go to the next step, next level. Somebody was asked, how come you didn't go to college? And he said, did you come out of college? Yes, I came out of college. Long ago, I came out of college. Oh, that's what you went in and then came out of college. I thought it is better just to stay outside college. That is what he said. So that reasoning won't work, you know. That shows this man has buddhi. He has buddhi very much, but the buddhi is being used incorrectly. And so he is quoting this Prakshalanath Varam, Prakshalanath Pankasya. See, there is an axiom. Hey, instead of going into the water and getting your legs muddy and then again washing your legs, just stay out of water. You know, that is a simple logic. So he's saying that. So here also, if you karma yoga is important, get yourself ready, strengthen yourself, work on your ragadveshas, and reset your thinking, and then come to dhyanam. And so here, karma yoga. So let's see. Karma karana muchyate, karma yoga karana muchyate. Kasya karanam? It is a sadhanam for what? Well, yogam, dhyana yogasya. Arurukshoho dhyana yogasya karma karanam uchyate. So karma yoga, it's all bahiranga sadhanani. Means what? All are external. So I am active. This is an active lifestyle. Karma yoga lifestyle, karma yoga has to be developed in an active lifestyle only. Only when you're active, we can practice this karma yoga. Only then, you know, the transactions are going on, expectations are there, relationships are there, and that's where all these ups and downs are going to be there. And then how am I going to deal with it? How is karma yoga going to help me? That's how it works, karma yoga. And so, because it's based on karma, it is called a bahiranga sadhanam. Bahiranga means what? External to the mind, namely body. This dhyana is called an antaranga sadhana. Antaranga means it is inside. So antakarana, it involves antakarana. So it is a transition from karma yoga, bahiranga sadhanam, to antaranga sadhana. Okay, that is to be noted here. And so we don't. My brother's son used to sit next to me when I was doing Sandhya Vandanam. He used to come and watch, and then he also would just mimic the things we used to do. I used to do. So then I decided one day, okay, now you know what? Now I'm going to do. Uncle is going to do Gayatri Japam. Okay, Gayatri Japam, and I will have to say this so many times, 100 times. Would you like to say? Yes, yes. I also want to say. Now you can't make these small girls and boys sit down. So I had an idea. So I got some 100 pieces of I think 100 sticks or something I got, and then I told him, every time you just put a stick from this cup, you put it outside, and then you have to make a circle. Okay, you have to make a circle, and then every time you put the stick, you have to say Om Namah Shivaya. Put another stick, Om Namah Shivaya, and then put another stick, Om Namah Shivaya. Then it has to be a circle. Okay, it should not be a square. It should not be oblong. It should not be a triangle. Okay, you understand all that? Yes, I understand. Okay. And then if you have to adjust the shape, you can adjust. Okay. Every time you make an adjustment, you say Om Namah Shivaya. Okay. And he got very excited. Yeah, I can do that. Why he can do that? Because Bahiranga Sadhana, some activities involved. Kids should be given activity. And we can't make them sit and say do dhyanam and all. That is, you have to be creative. I think all teachers, all of you know all that very well. Parents know all that very well. I don't have to say all this. But so that's the idea here, from Bahiranga Sadhanam, Karma Yoga, to Dhyana Yoga, Antaranga Sadhanam. And and so here, look at that. So here he says, Munehe. What does Shankara say to the word Munehe? Let's look that up. Okay. Mananashilaha Munihi. Ah, Shankara says Muni. Muni. He doesn't give us much choice to imagine things and all that. No. Karma phala sannyasi. That is how he translates the word Muni. Karma phala sannyasi. That means a person who has given up authorship to karma phala. Karmanyeva adhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. Fellow is understood that. That person has understood that. That person here is a Muni. Okay. And that person Muni. So for the Muni who is desirous of now during doing dhyanam, right? Arurukshoho munehe yogam. And for that yoga, what is the sadhanam? Sadhanam is karma yoga. Don't let go of karma yoga. Karma karanam uchyate. Karma yoga sadhanam uchyate is said to be the cause, the means. Okay. Now after that, what? That yoga rudaha, that person who is now not only fit for dhyanam and has practiced dhyanam, that person is called a yoga rudaha. Next line, first word of the second line. Yoga rudaha is one who is a, you can say, a dhyana yogi, who has now gained a contemplative mind, a disposition. And that person, tasya, of that yoga rudasya, tasya yoga rudasya, of that person who who has uh, who has who has a contemplative mind due to the practice of dhyanam. What about that person? Shamaha karanam uchyate. For that person, the cause, the sadhanam, the means is shamaha. Shamaha. And shamaha means what? Again, we have to go back to Shankaracharya. And shamaha, upashamaha, sarva karma sanyasaha, which we have already seen. Sarva karma sannyasa. And what is sarva karma sannyasa? Renunciation of all actions. And we know that that's only possible due to jnanam. Only jnanam can make me renunciate, make me give up karma. Karma can never be given up because actions are always going to happen. Sitting quietly is also an action. Dhyanam is also an action. And I don't have any thoughts. That is also an action. Okay, everything is an action. And so, and so Shankara says, Sarva karmabhyaha nivrittihi means absence from all actions, and jnanena, by knowledge. That is what he says there. And that person is called a yoga rudaha. And so can be an ashrama sannyasi also. Means what? Taking sannyasa ashrama. Because for that person also karma is given up. But that person need not be a jnani. We know that. And so here a jnani is referred to. So can be a grasta, can be a sannyasi, can be a brahmachari, doesn't matter. And that jnani is referred to here. And that jnanam, shamaha, is so important. So he's bringing karma yoga and he's bringing jnana yoga also to dhyanam. To dhyanam, even though dhyanam is a means, we think, but here he says that disposition, yoga rudaha, shamaha karanam uchyate, that karma yoga should have given me the ability to give up this idea that I control the things in this world. I don't control the results. I control only my actions. And so even action slowly, Kartrutvam goes away. And Kartrutvam goes away, doership goes away. Then what? Karma is also given up. Duties are never given up. Duties are never given. And so a jnani, Janakadayaha. So that person, Janaka, was a wise person, and that person was a grahastha. He was a king. He was playing the role of a king, and that person had all kinds of duties. So that's the beauty of that example. And a king means a prime minister or a president. And you can imagine the life of a president of a country, prime minister of a country. And so duties, duties, duties. But then person is a jnani. And so here also, shamaha karana muchyate, that total renunciation, antara sannyasa is is the cause, is the means for yoga rudaha, for being somebody who has gained a contemplative mind. Okay, which is interesting. Okay, so let us translate this shloka. Look at this. For the discerning person, for the discerning person who is desirous of attaining dhyana yoga, which means the contemplative disposition of dhyana yoga. For the discerning person who is desirous of attaining the contemplative disposition of dhyana yoga, namely meditation, loosely called meditation, comma, karma yoga is said to be the means. Full stop. For that person who has, within brackets, who has already attained, within brackets, this yoga, this means this dhyana yoga. For the person who has already attained this dhyana yoga, total renunciation alone is said to be the means. Total renunciation alone is said to be the means. So this is the way to understand this. Okay. So there is karma, and then there is karma yoga. Once I become aware, once I get exposed to the shastram, there is karma yoga. Okay. Then there is the jhanam has to come, and jhana yoga comes. Then sannyasa, complete renunciation happens, and then moksha. That is the way to understand. Kasya karana muchyate yoga rudasya moksha shamaha karana muchyate mokshaya. That is the way to look at it. Correct? Because jhanam itself cannot be an end in itself. And so, once again, karma yoga, then jnanam, because there are only two. Krishna has said in the third chapter, third shloka, lokesmin dvivida nishta, karma yoga and jnana yoga are there. Then suddenly how jnana yoga is coming here? Where should I put it? Is it number 3? Is it number 2? Should I move the 2 to 3? All these ideas we may get. Well, the way Swamiji explains it is, it doesn't matter how you, whether you have 3 or 2 is not the important point. Whether you understand what karma yoga is, whether you understand what dhyana yoga is more important. Once you understand it, you can decide whether to split it or put it as part of karma yoga. So we put it as part of karma yoga. and go by that 3.3 shloka number 3 lokesmin vividha nishta. So karma yoga, jnana yoga. Then dhyana, where does it come? Well, karma yoga, then it gets me to dhyanam, and then dhyanam gets me jnanam, and jnana nishtha. Jnana nishtha means moksha. That order is perfect. Okay, so now let's look at the next shloka, number 4. Anybody hasn't chanted in a while? Yeah, Parvati. Go ahead and unmute yourself. यदा हि
यदा हि
नेन्द्रियार्थेषु
नेन्द्रियार्थेषु
न कर्म
न कर्म
न कर्मसु
न कर्मसु
अनुषज्यते
अनुषज्यते
न कर्मस्वनुषज्यते
न कर्मस्वनुषज्यते
सर्वसंकल्पसन्न्यासी
सर्वसङ्कल्पसन्न्यासी
योगारूढः
योगारूढः
तदोच्यते
तदोच्यते
यदा हिनेन्द्रियार्थेषु
यदा हि नेन्द्रियार्थेषु
न कर्मस्वनुषज्यते
न कर्मस्वनुषज्यते
सर्वसंकल्पसन्न्यासी
सर्वसङ्कल्पसन्न्यासी
योगारूढस्तदोच्यते
योगारूढस्तद्योच्यते
तदोच्यते.
दोच्यते.
So Bhagavan Bhashyakara Shankaracharya introduces this shloka. He says, Atha idanim kada yoga rudaha bhavati. Okay, having said this, when does this person become a yoga rudaha? Like that, he is asking the question. So a little more detail is being given. So the essence of the shloka is the one who is not disturbed by anything is a person who gains moksha. That is the substance of this shloka. So let us see. Yada hi na, split again there. Na indriyartheshu, again na, then karmasu, and then anushajjate. Karmasu anushajjate. 2 words there. Then sarva sankalpa sannyasi yoga rudhaha tada uchyate. 3 words here in the last quarter of the shloka. Yoga rudhaha tada uchyate. So again you can see that yada, first word, again last tada, you can see those 2 words. So when this happens, then that happens. That is the sentence format here. Okay. Anushajjate. That is a verb there in the first line. Last word in the first line is anushajjate. Sajj. The sajj means attachment, dependence, attachment. Okay. So look at that. Anushajjate. One who does not, is not attached to, let's use the word attached, not attached to what? Karmasu, with respect to actions. Okay. And indriyartheshu, and objects, things, sense objects. One who is not attached to any of them. When that happens, that is what he says. Okay. And how can this happen? This can happen only through karma yoga, because my actions are driven by what is to be done, not what I love to do, what I like to do. Okay, my likes and dislikes don't decide what I should do. What is dharma decides what I should do. And if I like dharma, then doesn't matter. Then what is dharma and what I like to do become identical. Then that's a conflict-free life, correct? Conflict-free life. When we say what is that? Well, when dharma and what I like are identical, then that's a conflict-free life, correct? And otherwise, I have to think every time before speaking the truth. Should I tell the truth or not? That becomes a conflict. Then life has to be easy or difficult. Should I tell the truth? Should I tell the truth or not? Should I tell the truth or not? That becomes a problem. And so, therefore, in all types of karma, whether it is Vaidika karma or Laukika karma, there are two kinds of actions. So either it's a Vaidika karma or it's a secular. Loosely translating it as religious and secular. Loosely. It doesn't apply. I have to say loosely. You know why, right? Because Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma, Ishvara is everywhere. Everything is Ishvara. Actions are Ishvara. Results are Ishvara. Karma is Ishvara. The laws that are operating are all Ishvara. Therefore, there is nothing really secular in a Vedic life. In the Vedic vision, there is no such thing called secular. No such place where you can say God does not exist here. Correct? But in the Western theology, it is there. God does not exist here. In this world, there is no God. God is elsewhere. Therefore, the idea of secularism. That is why those ideas don't work in this country. And so, anyway, that's a different topic. But I think you understand that. So that when I say I have to do it because it must be done by me, then kartavyata buddhi. Shankara uses the word kartavyata buddhi. That means the idea that I am a doer goes away. When something is to be done by me, then I can't say I did it. Can't say I did it. Parents, ask parents. Oh, nobody says, oh, I spent a lot of time and money and energy bringing up children. Nobody says that. And children are there, they're born, they're gone after some time, and then things are okay. That's it, your duty is over. Nobody puts that in their resume, 4 children, all graduated, and now married also. Look what I've done. Nobody says that. And so, why nobody says that? All life was spent doing this. How come you should not say this? Well, it's a duty. Once you say it's duty, then it doesn't appear in the resume, it goes out of the resume. And so that person, and Shankara says that person, karma yogi, Shankara says, is a kartavyata buddhiman. Kartavyata. Karma yogi has kartavyata buddhi. That worship is there because knowledge is not there. But the fact that duties drive my life make it appear as though as though there is no kartavyata, no doership. Okay. And so karma yogi does have kartrutvam, and then it goes towards this jnana yogi, dhyana yogi, where kartavyata is gone further. And so this person, for this person, we've seen all this before. For this person, and once the person gains knowledge, then what happens? Then there is no longer anything to be done. Okay, we saw these things in shloka number 17 also. We saw that yastvatmaratireva syat atmatriptascha manavaha atmanyeva cha santushtaha tasya karyam na vidyate. Tasya karyam na vidyate. Even though the person is very active, Krishna says, no, that person karyam na vidyate. There is nothing to be done. Nothing to be done. The to be done, how do we understand? Hey, I'm thirsty. Swamiji is thirsty. Will he drink water or not? Yeah. Steaming water has to be drunk. But nothing to be done means the general idea of to be done is when I do something, I will become better. I will better myself. I can gain something and I will feel more secure. This idea is not there for a jnana. This idea that I will become more secure, not there by doing something because I am the incarnation of security. Atma is always secure, Avinashi. Therefore, that idea Kartrutvam is therefore gone because to be done also is gone. And then, of course, 318 also, same thing. Naiva tasya kritena arthaha. Kritena arthaha. For that person, there is nothing to be gained by doing something. And gained in terms of artha or kama, even dharma becomes something that does not exist for a jnani. Correct? Suppose somebody asks you the question, is dharma important for a jnani? You have to think. Is dharma important for a jnani? What will you say? Not important if you say, then what? Then the fellow can do whatever he wants, because I am a wise person, I am a sannyasi, you all should respect me. And I can do whatever I want. I won't vote. And I can take your money, his money, everything, all this. Can the person be like that? No. It cannot be like that, will not be like that. No need for the person to do all that. Okay. So the person, but therefore the person, dharma applies to the person. Dharma does apply in the person's behavior, lifestyle. Dharma does apply, and but the person does not gain anything by being dharmic. Correct? Can we say that? Does the person gain anything? Dharma is there because it's to be done, but by being dharmic, the other person is going to gain punyam. Antakarana Shuddhi can be gained, but for a jnani, even that is not a need anymore, and therefore nothing is gained by dharma for a jnani. And because the person cannot be fuller, person is already full, purna, fuller. So this fuller brings in some other ideas into my mind. Fuller. There was a guy called Buckminster Fuller. How many of you have heard of Buckminster Fuller? Yeah, some of you are raising your hands. So he was some kind of a freak designer, architect, and all that. And so this Fuller geocentric domes or something they call it, and geodesic dome, I think it's called. And so they have all these triangular, pyramids, all triangle, and they make a whole sphere out of this triangle. And apparently that structure holds a lot of stress it can withstand. And so Buckminster Fuller, and then in chemistry also, those kinds of structures are named after this man, Buckminster Fullerene. I think that's what it is. Long ago when I came across that. So, but this person cannot be a Fuller. Okay, cannot be Fuller. And why? Because Shankara says prayojana abhava buddhi. Prayojana abhava buddhi means what? That person does not see any benefit. No action can make this person bigger, fuller. Therefore, prayojana abhava buddhi. Prayojana means benefit. No more benefit at all. Actions have to be done because they have to be done. Loka sangrahartam, for the benefit of humanity, actions will be done. But for myself, no benefit anymore. Correct? So, like that example, Pujya Swamiji's famous example, trying to attract a bald man with a nice shampoo advertisement, right? That we should not forget. Okay. And shampoo advertisement is going on. What will this person think? Oh, we should get it? What kind of ideas will go in his mind? No, you can't attract that person by shampoo. That person may still be watching the advertisement. You know why? Because there are other things going on in the advertisement. Some people going in car, and then the hair is just flying like that. All that he may be watching. But shampoo idea, I need to get this shampoo idea is not there. Prayojana abhava buddhi. Suppose I say, guys, there is they've installed a new telescope in Timbuktu. All of us should go and see, because from there you can see Pluto. Pluto, faraway planet. You can see Pluto, it seems. Suppose I say that. Let's all go together. Because we are all one family. We should do something together. Suppose I say that. what kind of buddhi you will have? Prayojana bhava buddhi you will have, or prayojana abhava buddhi you will have? Most likely, all of you will say, what is the connection between that and what we are doing? This is the idea you are going to pick. That is called prayojana abhava buddhi. And so that person, Shankara says, is a, I mean, Krishna says, Sarva Sankalpa Sannyasi, he says. Okay, that person. Sarva Sankalpa Sannyasi. Sannyasi means what? Renounced, completely given up. And given up what? Sarva Sankalpa. All Sankalpas are given. Very interesting definition Shankara gives here. You know what he says? I wrote this down somewhere. Where is it? He says, Sarvan Sankalpan Iha Amutrartha Kama Hetun Sanyasituhu Sheelam Asya. Okay, beautiful definition. I'll explain that. Okay, so he is trying to, what is a Sankalpa? Sankalpa is what? We do that in our puja. We have to do a Sankalpa. Every puja, we must be clear what you are doing puja. Okay, we must tell Bhagavan why I am doing it. So that we know. So that idea that I will, by doing this, I will get that, and by getting that, I will become better. Okay, this idea. And the Karma Yogi, because of Pariksha Lokan, because having examined the fact that I am never going to really become better, it seems I'm getting better. Again, I'm coming back down. Again, I want to become better. Again, I'm coming down. I want to become better. This is a cycle. There is never ending cycle. And therefore, the Sankalpas are all given up by clarity and knowledge, not by being disillusioned. Okay, disillusioned people also give up, and they also, there are a lot of people who have given up. Okay, that, not that kind of a given up person here. And here he says, Iha Amutrartha Kama Hetu. He gives up. Iha means in this world. In this world, I cannot become better. Oh, maybe I have to go to heaven. He says, Iha Amutra. Amutra means elsewhere also. Elsewhere means heaven and other worlds. Later on, people are selling us this idea that later on in heaven I will be better. He says, Shankara says, Iha Amutra Artha Hetu. Anything that makes people say later on in a future life I will be better, even that idea is given up. That is called, so that person is called a Sarva Sankalpa Sannyasi. Look at the way they've been thinking about these things. And that person, and here Swamiji's favorite thing when he explains this, he talks about people who study the Shastram and say, I'm going to save the world. And Swamiji says, saving the world is the greatest fantasy. Okay. And you just run away from people who say, I want to save the world. Don't worry about the world. The world knows how. Nobody wants to hear from you that you are going to save the world. And when nobody is there to listen to you, what is this idea that you want to save the world? And the people are running away from you. And so, and these are all, erroneous ideas and notions. And so here, then what does he say? Yoga rudaha tada uchyate. Yada tada. When that person who has given up these kinds of attachments, born of false notion, and that person is a Sarva Sankalpa Sannyasi, and then that person is called a Yoga Rudaha. That word that Krishna used in the previous shloka, Yoga Rudasya Tasyeva, like that he introduced that word. So he's saying here, Tada, at that time when these things happen, then that person is called a Yoga Rudaha. And so Yoga Rudaha, Shankaracharya and Swamiji say, Yoga Rudaha must be a Jnani. Because Sarva Sankalpa Sannyasi, therefore that person must be a Jnani. And otherwise, this Sankalpas cannot really be given up. attitudinally given up. Karma yoga gives up by attitude. Yes, this is temporary. This is not going to really fundamentally help me. That idea karma yogi has. But Jnanam uproots this idea completely. And therefore, Shankara says yoga rudaha means wise person, jnani. Okay, so now let's look at this, the meaning of this shloka. Yeah, previous shloka, I think I forgot to give you the Anvaya. So let's do that. Anvaya of shloka number 3. Okay, which is again fairly straightforward. Arurukshoho munehe dhyana yogam. That yogam, we can say dhyana yogam. Karma karana muchyate. Again, karma is karma yoga. So nothing, Anvaya is straightforward. Then tasya yoga rudasya eva shamaha karana muchyate. So Anvaya, this is almost, the shloka is to be read almost exactly. So here, shloka number 4. When one is attached, word attached in quotes, neither to sense object nor to actions. When one is attached neither to sense objects nor to actions. Comma, then that person is said to be one who has attained liberation. So that liberation comes from this, for the word yoga rudaha. Okay, yoga rudaha is now being translated as moksha, one who has moksha. Okay, is said to be one who has attained moksha, comma, one who has renounced the cause of all desires. One who has renounced the cause of all desires. So when one is attached neither to sense objects nor to actions, then that person is said to be one who has attained moksha, comma, one who has renounced the cause of all desires. So again, Anvaya is fairly straightforward. Yada hi indriyartheshu karmasu cha na anushajyate. So I'm adding cha there. Tada sarva sankalpa sannyasi bhutva, I'm adding the word bhutva, yoga rudaha uchyate. Look at the way it comes. So we have to arrange it in a way it flows properly. Tada sarva sankalpa sannyasi bhutva yoga rudaha uchyate. Okay. So next shloka, next couple of shlokas are beautiful, and it will give us an opportunity to review our own life. Basically, the next shloka is going to say, you take care of yourself. Having said all these things, who is going to help me now? Well, you figure it out. It's all told to you now. You take care of your life. Don't think God is going to come and help you. No. You now, everything has been said. God only said all these things. Who else is saying all these things? God only said. Now what? What are you waiting for? Don't wait for anything. That's what he's going to say in the next shloka. Beautiful. We'll see that in the next class. Om swastik prajabhyah paripalayantam nyayena margena mahim mahishaha go brahmanebhyah shubhamastu nityam loka samasta sukhino bhavantu kale varshatu parjanyah पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितः ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः ॐ सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतङ्गमय ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्तिः 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 हरिः ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ।